Welcome back, everybody, to another shocking prison news episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. That's right, some shocking prison news it is. One of these stories about a diabolical teacher that ended up sleeping with her students. She just got sentenced to what I like to call a semi-thick cloud. Not to mention a very popular individual is just released from prison. And of course, another inmate has lost their life. I'm going to break it all down here in 1 second. But first, as always, if you're new to the channel and enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is absolutely where you need to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. Alright, first up, like I said, a diabolical teacher for sure. The way that she was plotting and planning on these students since the beginning. Listen to this. A former Wall Township High School English teacher has been sentenced to 10 years in state prison for separately engaging in numerous sexual acts with 2 of her students over the course of several years. Julie Rizzatello, 37, of Brick Township in Ocean County, will also be subjected to parole supervision for life, required to register as a sex offender, barred from contact with the victims in order to permanently forfeit her teaching position under the terms set down by the county superior court judge. The investigation revealed that the criminal conduct by the teacher involved 2 victims, one of whom she met when he was a freshman, and the other she met when he was a junior. Now, when I heard that, I'm wondering, okay, are these 2 victims friends? One just so happens to be a little older than the other, or are they just completely unaware that they're messing around with the same teacher? She's playing both of the students without them knowing. I don't know. It gets weird, though, because it says, after initially asking to spend time with them alone and developing a casual, friendly relationship, the conduct escalated to sexual activity with each, lasting for a period of several months. The sexual acts with both victims took place largely in 3 locations: in Rizzatello's brick home, in a vehicle at the Wall Township parking lot, and at the Belmer Bagel Shop owned by Rizzatello's family, where each victim was employed at her suggestion. They were working at her parents' bagel shop, which, if I were to guess, she probably told her parents, look, I've got a couple students here that need a job. Let's go ahead and hire them. The whole time she's plotting on doing sexual activity with them. Not to mention she can keep a close eye on both of them. You know, it's a family's bagel shop. If she ain't working there on her free time when she's not teaching, then she's definitely coming in and out of there if she got them working there and sleeping with them there. Unreal, the things that goes on in the dark, huh? Filthy, man. Crazy to think, and if I were to guess, both these guys probably found out that they're getting played and said, hell nah, man, we gotta end this real quick. Maybe came together or started beefing, and some people heard it, rumors started spreading. Next thing you know, she's getting a decade in prison. It continues saying, while the investigation was ongoing, Rizzatello also contacted both victims and asked them to delete evidence of the crimes from their personal electronic devices. This girl was plotting and planning all the way to the very end. But moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we got a popular individual just released from prison. Cain Velasquez was released from California State Prison on parole just yesterday, February 15, 2026. Well, now 2 days ago. But he was serving time for a 2022 attempted murder conviction. Velasquez, 43, received a 5-year sentence in March 2025, following a high-speed chase and shooting of a man accused of molesting his son. After initially being released on bail and under house arrest in 2022, he was sentenced in March 2025, with over 1,200 days already credited. But, you know, this was a prime example of you just can't go out getting your own revenge. Chances are, you know, you'll land yourself in prison. He's lucky to have gotten a 5 clip. I've seen people get decades in prison for doing what he did. One thing the courts does not like is you taking the law into your own hands. But I'm glad to see him out. You know, in California prison system, it's always questionable if you're going to make it to see them streets again, no matter if you're a UFC fighter or not. Next up, lace up your chucks, slap on the khakis, and pop in that Tupac 8-track. We're traveling down to California. And the stuff that comes out the top of my noggin is unreal, ain't it? And so is this story. As a matter of fact, there's a video to go with it. And couldn't believe my eyes. I thought I was watching something from Brazil. I don't know if anybody'd be able to find it now because the family is outraged that the video was even released to begin with. It says a 36-year-old man stabbed nearly 180 times at a California state prison, and someone inside captured the video of the gruesome death before leaking it to the outside, where it went viral on social media. It says on Wednesday, civil rights attorneys representing the family of Joseph Mendoza, who was killed April 8, 2025 at Salinas Valley State Prison in Soledad, spoke about their federal wrongful lawsuit against the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, where they alleged correctional officers acted with deliberate indifference. Despite being armed and trained to halt assaults, officers stood by and observed as Mendoza was butchered and left to die, his lawyers alleged. And ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I've seen this video, and I've seen tons of very gruesome videos. This one almost made me turn my head. The location of many of the stab wounds would just make you wrench, almost as though you could feel it. Very, very eerie video, man. I will never forget it. Burnt into my mind. And another scary thing about the California prison system, especially if you're in the mix, you get a green light on your head. And for those that don't know what the green light means, that means that's a go ahead for all the people in the little organization or whatever, if they see you, to kill you or do something extremely bad, something along those lines, right? Either way, typically when, that happens, it's not just one guy coming after you. Two's going to be holding you down while one guy's hitting you up like a damn pincushion. And that's pretty much what happened in the videos. Two individuals going after one. And once you start getting stabbed up, especially in vital spots, there's really not much you can do besides, hold the wound and hopefully you don't bleed out. The more fighting, the more active you get, man, the blood really gets to pumping. Next thing you know, you're going to faint and probably wake up at the Golden Gates. Hopefully. Some people say they wake up in a dark, pungent, sulfur-smelling room. Man, I don't want to wake up there. No, sir. But either way. Oh, and let me say something about this. The family saying that the guards just let this stuff go on, man. We've covered many stories in the past where guards are actually connected to the inmates. Not even just in California. I mean, there's other states where we got COs working with inmates as hit squads to carry out their dirty work for whatever kind of beneficial gain they might get, So anything's possible here. Prison officials identify Edgar Freyer and Nicholas Young as his attackers. The prison also said that they put Freyer and Young in restricted housing pending an investigation. Mendoza has been in prison since 2009 and was serving a 26-year sentence for robbery and attempted murder, along with charges of manufacturing a deadly weapon and battery on a non-prisoner. And it also says that lawyers identify him as a gang member. Now, the two individuals that attacked him, Young and Fryer, Mendoza's attorney identified them as gang members, a part of this same organization. And that, my friends, in prison is what many people call cleaning house, where people of the same group, gang, organization, whatever you want to call it, get into it with their own people and they have to remove them. They're no good anymore. And typically, a lot of these dudes, they have no idea that they're no good anymore, so they end up getting popped, shanked, whatever, while they're doing pull-ups, bench press, something, when they have no idea it's coming. It goes on to say what led up to the stabbing. As Mendoza's family attorneys tell it, Mendoza asked to be placed in special protective housing after he was found with a substantial amount of inebriants, drugs in January 2025, but that didn't happen. Instead, Mendoza was kept in general population, and the lawsuit alleges prison staff told others that Mendoza had taken the contraband and had asked for special housing, branding him an informant and a target. Wow, yeah, if he did something like that in the California prison system, man, you're just asking for trouble. Can't be doing those type of things, man. Your life is definitely on the chopping block. But I'm not the investigators, I'm just reading an article here. I'm breaking down exactly what could possibly happen from what I've seen in prison going there 2 times. It says edited video is provided by the lawyers, and of course I would never show that video on this channel, man. They'd ban me for 3 lives. But the video showed the 2 men repeatedly stabbing Mendoza nearly 180 times. The video is extremely graphic and viewers can hear the shanks going into Mendoza's body and being yanked out. Officers stood by and watched while someone took a video of this stabbing on a cell phone, according to the lawsuit and visual evidence. But that's about the bulk of it, ladies and gentlemen. My heart really does go out to Mendoza's family. I can't even fathom, cruising social media or something, maybe getting a message from an inmate, or just hearing word from your friend or something that there's a video of your son, brother, sister, whatever, being stabbed 180 times. That's how you find out that your loved one has died in prison. Not from staff of the prison or investigator, nothing. Just a leaked, gruesome video of your loved one. Like I said, I can't even fathom. My heart goes out to them and anybody living through a situation like this. Prison is definitely a very frightening place, especially if you're a gang member. Look, on this channel, I've been speaking against gang activity since day one because I seen the reality of it. I almost took the route a couple times, and I can assure you I probably would have been elite in the organization, probably got a life sentence in prison, but thank goodness I seen the reality of what it was at a very young age. So take it from me, man, if you're on that route, go ahead and turn around starting today. But this is another very real thing, depending on what kind of group you're running with. If you decide to say no more, be wary. because they're going to say the same thing about you. Many of these groups and gangs, it's for life, man. You choose to go the other way, they're going to stop you from walking, period.